Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you guys are doing well. I'm a little frustrated here because the video I'm about to do now, I just recorded the entire video and then I realized I didn't hit record, so I'm doing this whole thing over again. So bear with me. I figured today I would do another one of these videos where I read from my journal, and I've had a hard time kind of trying to figure out what stuff I should go to, what I should do next. And I kind of figured I'd read about a monumental moment in my life, and that was the day that Kurt Cobain died, or the day the news broke that he died, I should say. Nirvana was. I could not underestimate how important Nirvana was to me when I was a kid. It's the reason I fell in love with music was Nirvana. I was obsessed with Nirvana. I was known in school for being obsessed with Nirvana. So like the day Kurt Cobain, like people remember when JFK died, people remember when Lennon died. For me, it was like the day Kurt Cobain died. I will remember that day forever. But I didn't film it all that day. I filmed the next day. Some of that's on my channel. But I did write about it in my journal. So what I figured I would do is I would read from my journal. And then again, I have a couple pictures from that day, and I'll lay those pictures over the video. And I'll also interject with my reading and like kind of like fill in. I wrote this stuff when I was like 15, 16, so my writing is clunky. Like I hadn't yet found my groove with writing, so bear with me. That's why I try to like kind of fill in the gaps sometimes. Let's see what we got here. February 24th. What's this? There's stuff about my ex that I was lamenting. Holy shit, this stuff's dramatic. I was getting into, like, when I get into girls back then, man, shit gets dramatic. All right, here we go. Friday, April 8th, 1994, 3:45 p.m. So I started doing this thing, where I would put a timestamp, like when I started writing and then when I ended. So I started writing this at 3:45. This was after school. Today at lunch, Dustin and I flooded the urinals. Yeah, we used to do that. We put toilet paper on the urinals and then like flood them. And then we went outside to check out the girls. Again, I'm 16. That's what you did. Tonight I'm going to see Renee and I had gym class. Okay, so this is before I found out. So I must have gotten home from school but hadn't found out yet. I remember someone had told me earlier in the day, this girl Kasha, had told me earlier in the day, did you hear Kurt Cobain kill himself? And I remember not believing her because, again, I was like that Nirvana kid. So I'm like, okay, you're fucking with me. Like, oh, your boy killed himself. I'm like, whatever. So I do remember in hindsight that like someone had told me, like had mentioned it to me at lunch that day, but I didn't believe them. Okay, so now it goes to 4:28 p.m. And I'm assuming this is when I found out. My girlfriend at the time was dating this girl named Renee. She went to a Catholic school, and we had started dating like a month before. She called me. She was the one that actually told me. So 4:28 p.m. I just found out that Kurt Cobain of Nirvana shot himself and is dead. Renee was the first to tell me. It was all over MTV and WDRE. All right, so she called me up and she was like, I remember her, we were supposed to go out that night, and she's like, hey, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, what's up? And she's like, do you want to go out tonight? I totally understand if you don't want to go out tonight. I'm like, why would I not want to go out tonight? What's up? She's like, you didn't hear? She's like, Kurt Cobain killed himself. And again, I didn't put together with someone saying it to me earlier in the day. I'm like, well, shit. And she's like, turn on WDRE right now. They're doing a whole special about Nirvana. And DRE was like an alternative rock station at the time that we had. So I went into my living room to turn on DRE, and I had MTV on mute on the TV in the background. And before I could even get it onto DRE, I noticed on MTV it had one of those little like scrolling banners at the bottom. And it said more news on the death of Kurt Cobain coming up next on MTV News. And that's how I found out. And then I got it over to DRE, and I think they were playing like In Bloom or something. So then I went back and picked up the phone and talked to Renee. We did end up going out that night. All right, let's jump back in. So now it is 6:12 p.m. So I think I'd gone out with my mom after that to like run errands, but before I went out for Renee. I just got back from ShopRite with my mom, and now I'm listening to WDRE for more on Kurt. All right, and then it jumps to April 9th, 1994, but it's really the same day because it's 12:14 a.m., so I'm saying like it was the next day, but it's really just late that night. Yesterday, aka that day, my mom and I went with my mom to downtown Westchester and ShopRite, like I mentioned. I tried calling John Rhodes from there to tell him about Kurt Cobain dying. Renee and I went to Downingtown Farmers Market and we bought snow cones and went to the CD store. This is Farmers Market. I remember my mom took us there, and one of my friend's bands, if you know CKY, Jesse, the drummer of CKY, his band at the time was supposed to be playing a show at Downingtown Farmers Market. So we were going to go see that, but then a pipe burst wherever they were playing. So then the show didn't happen. So we just kind of hung out in the CD store. And I took some pictures there. You might be seeing right now a picture of Renee and I in the CD store. Either I'm doing like one of those things where I hold the camera out in front of me, or I did a timer or something like that. But I know I have that picture somewhere, so hopefully you're looking at it right now. I said we bought snow cones. I don't remember that at all. I was depressed about Kurt all night, and I taped the radio and TV stories. Okay, and that's it. All right, the next page is me writing about missing my girlfriend Becky. Holy shit, this stuff is dramatic, by the way. When you're like 16 and you're me, and you're writing about girls you're into, it gets heavy. I don't know if I'd ever read any of this stuff. This is a lot. Cry halfway through. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe someday that'll happen. But yeah, that was a huge day for me. I remember my mom telling me, like, when I got home from going out with Renee that night, she's like, she'll still tell the story today. If you ask my mom today, she can still give you the number. But I remember her telling me that while I was out, it was either 12 or 17, I can't remember the number, people had called just to check on me, to make sure I was all right. Like, since Kurt Cobain and stuff. That's how Nirvana I was, I should have asked her what the number was. It's either 12 or 17. But still to this day, I like, Christmas and such, I bring that kind of stuff up. Yeah, but that day, huge day. Freshman in high school. It was the reason I loved music. It's like almost all I listened to at that point was Nirvana. I remember in that era too, I was buying a lot of like Nirvana import CDs, like bootleg CDs from Repo Records. And I remember like the next day I went and bought another one, which was this one right here. I had sold a lot of these, like, as I got later into high school and got more into punk, I started selling, like, a lot of my Nirvana bootlegs to buy, like, Screeching Weasel and Queer CDs and stuff like that. But I've been slowly trying to, like, buy some of my favorite ones back, and this actually just came in the mail today, so it's perfect timing for me reading about the stories, this CD coming. But these are great. These are, like, factory press silver CDs. I have a picture of me the day I got this, too, so maybe if I find it, you'll be looking at that picture of me holding this CD up. There's another one. Good times, him. So yeah, that's it. Again, like, if you are new to the channel and don't subscribe, please subscribe. I love talking with you guys. I don't know if I said this yet, but I've got a lot of new subscribers, and you old guys have heard this a million times, but if you don't know where to start and you're jumping into the channel new, what I always suggest is go to the 90s Home Movies Chronological playlist and just kind of watch it chronologically. I would love for people to watch it sequentially, because the point of this channel is, like, watch me grow up. So you see, like, friends and girlfriends come in and out of my life, and me get older, and me move out, and me da-da-da. So if you want to do that deep dive, I would really appreciate if you did it that way. And then give me feedback. Tell me what you think. Like, does it work that way? Does it not? I love talking with you guys. I love hearing, like, how you guys feel about everything. And if you just want to watch the videos individually, do that too. You don't have to watch it as the channel, but, like, you'd be my best friend if you watch it chronologically. That's it, guys. I love doing these journal videos. I'll probably do some more in the future. I don't know if I'll read the really syrupy Lamenting Girls stuff. Probably at some point I will. I'll get there. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys.